Howdy, folks. I reckon I got a tale to tell that'll leave you scratching your heads and wondering if the world ain't as plain and simple as it seems. I'm no wordsmith, so pardon me if my story ain't as polished as them fancy books. But this here's real. It happened to me out on my farm in the middle of nowhere, and I ain't been the same since. It was one of them evenings when the sun was painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. I was doing my usual chores, tending to my cattle and letting the day wind down slow. The air was thick with the scent of hay, and the distant hum of crickets played a lullaby as I went about my business. That's when I saw 'em, lights on the horizon. Now I ain't talking about your ordinary lights, the kind that might be a neighbor's lantern or a distant headlight. No, these lights were something else entirely. They flickered and danced like playful spirits, throwing colors into the air that my old eyes couldn't rightly name. Curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself trudging towards those lights like a moth to a flame. Call it foolishness or call it fate, but something told me I had to see what was going on. As I got closer, the air grew heavy, and a strange hum filled the space between heartbeats. It's a feeling I can't describe, like standing at the edge of a precipice and gazing into the abyss. The world around me blurred and faded, like an old photograph losing its definition. The next thing I knew, I was back on my farm. The lights were gone, and the day had turned to night. But here's the kicker. I couldn't remember a dang thing about what happened in between. It was like someone plucked a piece of my life right out of my head. I stumbled back to the farmhouse, my mind a whirlwind of confusion. The days turned into weeks, and I couldn't shake the notion that something had changed. My crops grew strange, twisted like they were touched by unseen hands. The animals acted skittish, as if they'd seen something I couldn't fathom. Even the wind carried a different tune, whispering secrets I couldn't comprehend. Now I ain't one for spouting tales of the fantastical or making a fuss, but the memory of that night lingered like a ghostly echo. I tried going back to my routine, pretending it was all a dream, but deep down, I knew something had shifted in the fabric of my reality. I've been wrestling with this burden, wondering if I'm alone in this strange dance with the unknown. Has anyone else ever seen lights like these? Is there a force out there messing with our lives, playing tricks on honest folk like me? I reckon I ain't alone in this, and maybe, just maybe, together, we can unravel the mysteries that linger in the quiet corners of the countryside. I've spent countless nights staring up at the same sky that betrayed me, trying to make sense of what happened. The answers, if they exist, elude me like fireflies in the dark. Maybe this here story will find its way to someone who's been through the same. Someone who can shine a light on the shadows that now cloud my simple life. I've asked myself 1,000 times, was it a dream? A hallucination brought on by the wear and tear of years spent toiling in the fields? But deep in my gut, I know it was real. The earth beneath my feet feels different, like it holds a secret it ain't willing to share. I've tried sharing my tale with folks in town, but they look at me like I've lost my marbles. Maybe I have, but if I've gone mad, it's the world that drove me to it. I'm just a humble farmer, not versed in the ways of the mystical or the strange, but I can't ignore what happened to me that night. I've pondered the nature of them lights. Were they a sign, a warning, or just a cosmic jest at my expense? The uncertainty gnaws at my soul, and the only solace I find is in telling this tale, hoping against hope that someone out there understands. The farm ain't the same no more. The land that was once my sanctuary feels like a battleground between forces I can't reckon with. The soil, once familiar beneath my calloused hands, now seems to whisper secrets of the unseen, of dimensions beyond our grasp. And so I send this missive into the vast expanse of the internet, hoping it finds ears that can comprehend the weight of my words. If you've ever seen lights like these, if you've felt the touch of the unknown on your everyday life, reach out. Let's unravel this mystery together, for in unity there's strength, even against the enigmatic forces that dance in the shadows of the countryside.